Good morning and welcome back to the swampy woods of northwest Pennsylvania for an early spring foraging video. Today I made it out, first nice day in a while, and we're going to be out looking for ramps or wild onions out here in the woods. So I know where a spot is close by here. I'm going to go check it out, see if they're up yet, and maybe pick a few. So I'll show you how to find them, how to tell them apart from other species, and maybe even how to prepare them if we get that far. But for now, let's just go on a walk in the woods, enjoy the early springtime here, and see what all's coming to life here. So follow along, see what we find. Now it's still just a bit early for ramps out here. I'm in the first week of April here, but I've found a few other places, so I hope they're up at this spot. But it's really fun to go out and find them. They're pretty similar to morels or other mushrooms as far as like being kind of hard to find, and once you know your spot, you kind of keep track of it. And they're kind of a delicacy. I'm not really sure if they're kept in captivity, if people grow them anywhere, or if they're just wild, but they're a lot like green onions. They're technically a wild leek, and they're a little bit more spicy than green onions would be, a little more garlicky, but they're really good to add to any springtime dishes, and often they're out before you could have green onions in your own garden, so it's quite fun to get out and look for them. So I'm more or less in the right spot here, but I don't know exactly where they were last year, so I'm gonna have to keep walking around, seeing if I can find them, and once I do, I'll show you. But in the meantime, here in this beautiful mossy, swampy area, everything's swampy around here, but it's really fun to walk around in the beautiful spring as things are starting to green up finally after a long snowy winter here. So stay tuned, we'll see what else we find. Walking along here, and I just spotted this cute little guy on a log here. It's a red eft. It's a little type of salamander, so I'll get out the close-up here and get some B-roll of him. All right, well, I've been walking around for a long time in this spot, and it turns out I can't find ramps. I kind of think it's probably just too early for them back here in the deep woods. So I'm gonna go check a few more places on my way back out to the road. I do have another spot, about a mile or two from here, where I know they are already up. I was just there last week, so check a couple more spots here first, and then if I don't find any, run down to the other spot and show you them there. But it has not all been lost. It's a very nice place out here, and there's lots of cool stuff out in the early spring here. So keep looking, see what we find. These reddish bushes all around me here are all wild blueberry bushes. And from personal experience, you can pick some amazing blueberries here in like mid-July. Lots of them actually. And this whole like swampy area here is all full of wild blueberries, so definitely worth checking out if you live in the north. I don't know where they grow, but here anyway. Alrighty, y'all, I made it to my next spot here. Did not find any ramps in the first spot. I think there's just too cold for them. They weren't up yet. But I'm here at my next spot, which is an old abandoned homestead. And we do indeed have ramps popping up through the leaves here. So I'm gonna get up close up here and show you. Unfortunately, they are still pretty small. Ideally, you would harvest them once they're 6 or 8 inches tall. And these are only 3 or 4 inches tall yet. But I can still show you what they look like and how to harvest them. So I'll get close up here. So right down here, we've got these green leaves sticking through. And in some ways they look like daffodil leaves or other plants. But if you pick one and rub it and then smell it, it'll smell really strongly of garlic. And so that's how you'll know if you have ramps versus some of the other species like daffodils, or there are even some other species that are poisonous that are similar, but they will not smell like garlic. So before you pick any of them, just make sure to pick a leaf, smell it, and see if it smells like garlic. And if it does, then they are ramps. So as you can see, there's a nice colony here. Quite a few, and in a week or so, these will have all grown up quite a bit more and will be ready to really pick. Now, since these are still really small, I don't want to pick too many of them because I want to let them grow so I can come back later, but I will pick a few here to show you. So if I come down here, I have a knife here. The easiest way to harvest them is just to cut them off at ground level. And then we have our ramp here. And you could eat this just as a green onion, however you would normally prepare them. Or you can pull these up and actually eat the bulbs as well, which is sometimes a little bit difficult because they like to tear off. And that one did tear off on me, so try to pull these up. Okay, not having any luck pulling them up, but we do have the leaves and stem here, which are the best part to eat anyway. However, if you dig them up, they do have a small bulb down there in the bottom, so I'll try to do one off camera here maybe so I can show you. All right, so here I have just the tops, the leaves that I pulled off earlier, which are the part you would cut up and eat and put in salads. And here I have the roots, which they're not very big bulbs, but they do have a little onion-like bulb down here at the bottom that is very good to cut up and eat in salads or whatever as well. You can really eat most of the plant except for the roots here, obviously. But yeah, this is what they look like. They're essentially a leek or a green onion, and they're quite excellent if you cut them up, either put them in soups or salads or anywhere else that you would use green onions or leeks, or garlic greens of that sort. So these are really cool. It's a unique type of wild food to pick here in the northeastern forests, and it's a really fun early spring tradition to go out and find your ramp spots and pick them, take them back home, eat them however you would like to prepare them best. So hopefully this video was helpful and you now know how to recognize ramps out in the woods if you're out in the early spring woods up here. And I hope you can get out and find some yourself. You do have to be a little bit careful with small patches like this that you don't harvest all of them. You don't want to exterminate a patch by pulling them all up. So just be responsible, pick a few here and there, take what you need and no more. But it's a really fun early spring tradition, kind of like mushroom hunting, to get out, pick some ramps, take them back, cook them however you like them best, and use them in that way. Because there are really good things to eat out here in the woods and you just have to know where they are and how to find them. So let me know if you get out and find some in your areas. And let me know if there's anything else you would like to see videos about up here in the Pennsylvania forest area as far as foraging goes. I would love to check it out. I'll only be here for a few more months, so it'll have to be spring things. But anyway, I'm having a great time. I'm looking forward to spring coming here in a few weeks and it actually greening up and being really nice and warm again. Get out and get some mushrooms here in a few weeks. So until next time, get out in the woods, look for some wild foods, maybe get out and do some rock hounding as well, and have fun and stay safe. We'll see you next time. Hey, I'm videoing. Imagine doing that on purpose.